Welcome, welcome to the Wisdom WarriorPreneur Alliance, a sacred space where you can receive tools and wisdom from entrepreneurs and visionaries to empower the badass warrior in you. I am so excited to introduce one of my dear, dear friends for, I don't know how many years we've known each other. Geez, it feels like...
Gotta be at least 9 years, I think.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think 10. I think it's even been 10.
10, yeah.
But I want to introduce everyone to Jennifer Lakhmi Chand Kelly. She began her journey when she became pregnant with her oldest son in 1998. During her pregnancy, she was introduced to whole food nutrition, homeopathy, herbs, essential oils, and Kundalini yoga. The experience was so transformative that it changed her life path. She left a 16-year career in film and TV to become a postpartum doula, a Kundalini yoga teacher, Reiki master, functional nutritional wellness specialist, certified hypnotherapist, a wellness life coach, and is care certified in Raindrop and VitaFlex technique. Woo! That's a mouthful right there.
It is.
Today, she owns and operates the Yogi Tree Center the Yogi Tree Center for Growth in Toluca Lake, and Healing Talents bring the gift of yoga, nutrition, and wellness to the LA area. I am so excited and honored to have you here. We actually used to have the Family Love Village when I used to host monthly potluck gatherings. We used to host it at the Yogi Tree. So
Yeah.
and I also started hosting my So Mama's Love Tribe for single moms, the mastermind, the year program. So it's just been an honor to be able to collaborate on different things together. She's done festivals with us through Family Love Village, and she's just been, I love her kids. My son and her kids are good friends, and it's just been such a beautiful journey with you. And so I'm so grateful to have you on here, because I feel it's so important for us to learn alternative ways, alternative medicine. And I've been an advocate with this since Andrew was born, since I was pregnant with him, was finding alternative medicine and natural healing remedies versus always having to, I mean, there's a place for Western medicine, there's no doubt about it, but I really believe in Eastern medicine, and I really believe that we have the power within ourselves to heal ourselves. I also think it's also a mindset as well, placebo effect. So I would love to hear what tools and natural remedies you have to offer, and especially with all of the wealth of wisdom that you have. Like, what are some things that we can do for preventive maintenance and curative health during these uncertain times?
Well, just to kind of speak to what you were saying early on when I was pregnant with Cody, I had someone say to me, you know, when you get sick, you're not sick because of a drug deficiency. You're sick because of a nutrition deficiency, a nutrient deficiency. And it really got my mind going. And then also when I was pregnant, my midwife was amazing, and she was a nutritionist and herbalist. And so I had to do diet sheets, and I learned so much about diet then. I had grown up back east eating a lot of Italian food, and you know, then in my teens and early 20s, fast food, and I actually was not that well then. And my body changed so dramatically during pregnancy. In fact, I was about 30 pounds heavier, which, you know, saw the fast food and all the junk food and everything. And when I delivered him, I was 10 pounds lighter than I was pre-pregnancy weight, which I was like, how did that happen during pregnancy? And it was just because I shifted my diet so dramatically, and noticed such a huge difference in not just the way I felt physically, but the way I felt mentally and emotionally. My energy was so much different. I didn't have mood swings or depression anymore. It was just like a night and day difference. And it really sparked me to understand it more, so I could raise my family in a healthier way than I was raised. So during this time when we're all worried about COVID or coronavirus, I mean, really, you know, the thing we have to look at is the basics, first of all. And the basics are, how are you eating? How are you sleeping? Are you exercising? And how are you taking care of your emotional, mental, spiritual self? Because they all play a role. And we know that COVID-19 is really detrimental to people with immune suppression, right? Or pre-existing conditions. And how do we get a suppressed immune system or pre-existing condition? It comes from poor diet, poor digestion, inflammation, taking any kind of medications, whether it's street drugs or even prescribed medications can have toxic effects on the body because they leave residues, or they have to filter through the kidneys or the liver, which is going to cause could cause detox problems. And any kind of infections anywhere in the body, they could even be dental infections that can lower the immune system. Mercury in the body, so mercury fillings, things like that, will also compromise the immune system. Hormone replacement therapies, and that could be even birth control, can really affect the immune system and how we function. Trauma, fear, stress,
Right.
and emotional issues, right? So stress, we know that stress is one of the leading causes of immune suppression, right? And we're all put in this pandemic stress situation. So we really want to look at that. And so first of all, food is the best medicine. And I can talk a lot about this. So we'll just do what we can today. And if we want to do more at another point, we can, absolutely. But, you know, going back to basics, we really want to lay off sugars. We really want to eat fresh, live foods. And I know when we're stocking up for a pandemic, although things have calmed down a bit now, but like initially when I went into the store, I was like, oh my God, every shelf of like canned food and boxed food was totally gone. All the bread, all the cookies, I was like, oh, but you know what? Everything I eat is here. Like, you know, Michael Pollinger, is that his name? He wrote Omnivore's Dilemma, and right. And he wrote this little book, and it's like 101 nutrition tips or whatever. And he said, you know, you really just need to shop the perimeter of the store. There's like really nothing for you in the center. That's all the processed stuff. It's all the sugar stuff. Yeah. So I was like, oh, well, there's organic produce left. And, you know, I don't eat meat that much. My partner does, and my kids do sometimes, you know. I was like, oh, organic meats are available. There was no regular meat, but all the organic stuff was available. And so I didn't find it that difficult to shop, but I know a lot of people were really struggling with food. So fresh live foods. And, you know, if you're home right now, it's such a great time to learn how to cook foods properly, or to learn how to crock pot your foods. So when we go back to work, when we go back to the busyness, we can still have really healthy live foods, and we can cut down cooking times, and we can, you know, do that kind of stuff. So I really think this is a great time to reinvent and play with it. Also, you know, you really want to limit your grains. Grains can be very inflammatory. And you want to stick to ancient grains, which would be like quinoa, amaranth, millet, you know, those kinds of things. Some rice, but even rice can get really overused and can have arsenic in it. So
I know, us Asian.
I know.
Andrew loves his rice.
I know, my kids do too, but we've been playing around with alternatives, and, you know, if you jazz them up all right, they'll eat them.
Yeah.
But watch that. And also too, like with proteins, we don't need to overdo it with proteins, because that can be very inflammatory and can be very acidic. So if you are a meat eater, then never more than a fistful. You don't need it 3 meals a day. Usually 1 meal a day or every few days is really enough. And when you are going to eat legumes or grains, soak them overnight. You know, it just takes a little bit of planning, but it makes such a difference in how your body can receive it and take in those nutrients. So if you know, gluten and dairy can be very inflammatory for most people, so we want to stay away from that. And then also too, if you have any known food sensitivities or allergies, so that's a whole nother discussion, delayed food sensitivity,
which would be
reactive
great. I
foods.
would love to interview another time for
Yeah,
that.
so we can do that because that's
Yeah.
really like a whole another science on itself.
Yeah.
But if you have known food sensitivities, then this is a really good time to steer away from them. It's a great time to do like fresh green juices and things like that that are really going to stimulate. And I know a lot of people are going out and buying supplements, going out and buying zinc and vitamin C and all these things that are good for us, but in it can also be detrimental, right? Because if we're overdoing it in one area, we can be underdoing it in another. And also really important to remember that there are cofactors like, you know, zinc and vitamin C and vitamin D and vitamin B and all these things that we know are good for us. They need to be in certain combinations, even calcium and magnesium, for the body to be able to absorb it and utilize it properly. So it's best to use fresh fruits and vegetables right now, and like juice. And, you know, my neighbors and I have been swapping. She has lemons, I have grapefruit. We've been helping out with a farm, what does she call it? She calls it a farm co-op. She doesn't call it a CSA because she's amazing. Like, she's built relationships with all these local farmers. She doesn't work with any farms more than 200 miles away. And now with the COVID situation, they've been home delivering every Saturday and Sunday, like about 600 boxes of produce, organic, fresh produce to people. And her company is called Earth Matterz with a Z. And they have she just has such a phenomenal work ethic and passion for whole life foods, and so it's really a great resource. But my husband's been helping out with it, so he's been coming home with lots of fresh oranges, which are really in season right now. So it's perfect, right? I mean, nature knew, right? All the citrus is blooming right now, so if we get our vitamin C and our bioflavonoids from that, then we're going to get it in the proper combinations, and our body's going to be able to utilize it better than a supplement. And by the way, when you're doing your produce, your citruses, just skin the color off and use all that fleshy white stuff, because that's got a lot of bioflavonoids in it that are really good for the body. So, and that's where essential oils come from, by the way. Citrus essential oils come from the skin and the rind. So really potent, really powerful. I really think it's really important to look at sleep and how you're, oh my gosh, we're already over time.
It's okay. You know what? Actually, let's just go for it, because I think this is so important. That's what I was saying. We do 15 minutes. It's so fast for 15 minutes, but if we do 30 minutes, I feel it's so important that I feel other people would benefit from this. If people are watching live, I'm checking right now. I got a few people that are watching. Yay, one person watching right now. Awesome. But, you know, if anybody's watching right now and you see and you have questions, please put it in the comments, because it is the perfect time to ask Jennifer anything, you know, about alternative medicine and nutrition and diet and everything that can help for preventive maintenance and curative health as well. So, and that's the next thing. That's why I want to go further to see.
Okay, yeah, because I want to share with you a protocol that we've been using for our family, and that I think is really powerful for everyone. But what you really want to do is really make sure that you're getting enough sleep and exercise every day, even if it's going for a walk or a bike ride. Do an online yoga class, do an online workout class, something. But it's really important, not just for our physical bodies to be moving every day, but for our emotional state. And right now, you know, it's really important that we're balancing our emotional states, because being isolated can be a big trigger for people. Being stuck in the house can be a big trigger for people. Being stuck with our kids and our husbands can be very triggering for people. I happen to personally like it a lot, but I know but we also just got done traveling for 2 years in a tiny home. So we're kind of used to it. We were primed for this, but I realized that a lot of families are being pushed into a situation that they weren't prepped for and they weren't ready for. And that can be extremely stressful. And don't feel bad about it if it is stressful for you, because, you know, it was like a very quick change that nobody was prepared for. So, but these are ways that you can help yourself. So you can do, also meditation and breath work are really powerful for that. And I do lead I do lead a free morning meditation. If anyone wants to join, please do, because it's really great. It's all about letting go of that stress and then how we're going to co-create the future. There's been a lot of talk about how we're going to get out of this situation in antibody testing, and I'm really happy to hear that KMBO Diagnostics, which is a lab that I work with for delayed sensitivity food testing, they just came out with an antibody testing for COVID-19. It's a finger prick test. So I can also give Tangee information on that if anybody's interested in that.
Oh my gosh, thank you.
But the protocol that we've been using is a protocol that was developed by my mentor, one of my mentors, Dr. Teresa Dale, who's phenomenal. She's a master homeopathic blender, and she's studied in Europe, and she's just a phenomenal human being, and I love her so much, and I've learned so much from her. So I just want to give that credit. This is not a protocol I came up with. It is her protocol. So, and you can get it through me at the Yogi Tree, because I do have some on hand, or you can order it through her website as well.
And is this the protocol that you do when you actually get the COVID, or is this still preventive maintenance, or is it a combination?
So I'm going to tell you both. So the preventative one that we've been doing is a homeopathic remedy called All Flu. And All Flu, if you're not familiar with homeopathy, it's a really powerful form of medicine that originated in Germany. It works on the principle of like cures like. There's really virtually no side effects to it. Anyone can do it at any age. You can take it even when you're on other medications, and that's why I love it so much.
Same
but
here.
And we could do a whole nother thing on that.
Yeah.
But anyway,
exactly. We're like, oh my God, this is what excites us.
But anyway, so it's called All Flu. And actually, this is a protocol you should do every flu season, not just for COVID, but for any flu. So it's got pieces of different strains of flu in it, and it's also got COVID strains in it. It's got SARS and MERS in it, and it really kind of preps the body for what's going on this season. So preventatively, you would take a capful of it monthly. And in addition to that, you would take a supplement called BioFilm Detox, because what BioFilm Detox does is it breaks down all the enteric coatings and biofilm that virus, bacteria, cancers, candida, they all have. And so BioFilm Detox is great to take all the time or periodically, just do little cleanses with it, and it'll kind of rid your body of all this stuff that accumulates just from living and breathing and being around humans and virus and bacteria. So anyway, so you take that. Yeah. You take that, that breaks down anything. You take the All Flu, that cleans it out. And the other one that's really great to take right now is Optimal Multi Pro. And that's a vitamin mineral blend that really feeds the nervous system, the immune system, and the adrenal glands, because those are all very much affected when we're sick, when we're stressed, and especially if we're not getting enough exercise. So to work out, like, you know, all that stuff. Right. So that would be the preventative protocol, those three. Okay. Now, if you have COVID or you've contracted it or you're feeling run down or any type of flu, you would take those three things, the All Flu, BioFilm Detox, and the Optimal Multi Pro. But in addition, you're going to add in lymph detox, which is a homeopathic remedy to clear out the lymphatic system. Because often when we're getting run down and getting sick, it's because there's a backup. So what happens is it starts to clean out and drain the lymphatic system. So it helps us detox that out. There's another remedy called Biotox Bacteria 3 that addresses the lung issues associated with COVID. It has strains of pneumonia in it that are consistent with what we're seeing in COVID, and it helps really clean and clear out the pneumonia situation. And especially if you've previously had pneumonia or lung diseases, this is a great remedy for you. And this one you can only buy if you're a professional. So that would be something you could order through me if you needed it.
Nice.
And then to really strengthen the immune system, you could use Whole Body and Immune Pro, which helps clean out the blood. And then you could also use Nanoionic Multi, which is just another really big boost. And if you wanted to, you could add in Nanoionic Colloidal Silver, which is also available at the Wellness Center by Dr. Teresa Deo. All of that combined with a really, you probably, if you're feeling sick and you're feeling run down, it would be great to go to like a vegan diet for a little while, an anti-inflammatory vegan diet, just to take the stress off the body, because food can be a big stressor if we're eating foods that are really toxic to our system. So that would be like a protocol, a curative protocol, to do more of a vegan diet, to add all those things in, and to get a lot of rest and, all that kind of stuff. So,
wow.
Yeah.
Thank you. So with that vegan diet, would that be, because I know I'm not vegan. I'm intuitarian. I call myself.
That's kind of what I promote, is intuitarianism, because, the body really needs different things at different times. Yeah. And I find the vegan diet to be a really great detox diet. But also too, you have to watch, if you're going to that vegan diet, that you're not filling it up with a bunch of grains, right, or a bunch of filler foods. It's really designed to be really clean fruits, vegetables, protein, spirulina, chlorophyll, barley grasses, wheat grasses, like very nutrient dense, vegetable broths and things like that, shiitake mushroom broths and things that are going to really give you a lot of nutrients and be very gentle on the body, because you want the body to be working on healing. Right. But if we're putting a lot of greens in, or like gluten-free breads or meat substitutes or whatever, then it's really not doing the right thing. Right. Right. So I have a course coming up that's starting this Sunday. And it's called 40 Days to Optimal Health, where we spend 6 weeks together, actually really discovering different diets, what works for your body, the right kind of exercise for your body, the right kind of meditation for your life and lifestyle. And, it's kind of like 6 weeks of coaching and trying to find like the way your body works best, how much how much sleep your body needs, so we go through all the things and we experiment with it and start to figure it out. And I teach people how to muscle test and find their ideal diet and how to, all that. So anybody who's interested in doing more of a deeper dive could join us this Sunday, May 3rd at noon.
Awesome. And how much is the course?
So if you're not a member of the Yogi Tree, it's $149, and that's everything. And you'll also get virtual classes included. And if you are a auto pay member, it's $50. We reduced the rate because we just really want people to. It's normally more expensive, but
I was going to say, well, that's
this is our COVID rates, because I just think this information is so important right now, and I think that it's essential for people moving forward, because I hear a lot of talk about, we're not getting out of this until we get a vaccine, yada, yada, yada. Right. I'm extremely pro-choice when it comes to vaccines. Right. And I don't like the idea of someone telling me that I have to take a vaccine. Right. And I also can see how it can be scary to people to say, okay, well, nobody's going to vaccinate. I think both extremes can be really challenging. For us to swallow. So I'm really pro-choice. Yeah. But I don't think that any of us believing that a vaccine is the answer to this is appropriate, because a vaccine is not going to fix your nutritional deficiencies. It's not going to fix why your body is run down in the first place. And there are so many ways that we can heal the body and build the body up to be able to withstand the times. This is the 4th major pandemic, epidemic, whatever you want to call it, that's happened in history. And the other three, we didn't even have vaccines. We just naturally evolved out of it. So it's kind of a little bit of I understand scientifically why they want to go there, but it's a little bit faulty in thinking, because we're not building the right foundation. Right. So
And also if it hasn't even been tested yet, like that's
To
another.
really have a true vaccine that's been tested properly and is safe,
Yeah,
although the safety of vaccines can certainly be very questionable,
right.
but for it to be as safe as possible, it's going to take 2 years. So
Yeah,
let's start putting these other things in place, and also let's get educated so we can start looking at our food source, which is a big problem
right,
in becoming immune deficient,
right.
right? So let's address like really some of the root causes, and then if we want to add the medicines on top of it, great, it's a bonus. But without addressing these underlying situations, we're trying to build a house without a foundation.
Right. Yep.
So,
Yes. Wow. Oh my
and
God.
I realize some people will totally disagree with me, and they're welcome to, but this is my 20 years of experience and what I have really seen work for people. I've not seen the medicines really work long term.
Right.
And what I have seen is lifestyle change work long term.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. And it's also getting that mindset of being, open to it. It's also the inner work of the mindset, reframing our mindset around this lifestyle change.
mm-hmm.
And seeing that the benefits outweigh, people are so used to like the quick fix parenting, like the quick fix lifestyle, putting things in a can and putting it in the microwave. It's just all this quick, fast. And it's like, this is the time for us to slow down. This is the time for us to look at these things like our health and our nutrition. Like I feel like this is the global awakening for us to reset.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And we need to use the time wisely.
Yeah.
So if we do, we can come out of this in a completely different space. And like I said, the learning curve gets real small. It's initially, oh my God, how do I use this? Or how do I make this thing? Or how do I da 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 da? But you can get through that learning curve. And when we get back to day to day, you'll know all the shortcuts. You'll know all the, you know what I mean? Where it becomes a sustainable lifestyle.
Right. Yes.
So,
Thank you so much, Mama, for
yeah.
being on here. I'm so grateful to you and honored to have you on here. I just want to see if there's any questions. Anybody had any comments? Pushkar, he said, I hope someone is taking notes. And he's all, greens are heavy for the body, question mark. Can you elaborate on that? So I think there was something where he said greens are, so he wanted to know a little bit about that too. I'm
Did you
gonna
say greens or grains?
Grains, yes. So it's not grains, Pushkar. If you're still on, it's not the greens, it's grains.
Yeah, grains are very, can be very difficult to digest. They can also be very dehydrating. If you've ever soaked grains overnight, it's amazing how much water they can take in. Have you ever
Yes.
noticed that?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah. You're mixing with your
So,
pasta sauce, the pasta sauce is gone.
right, exactly. So, yeah, so I meant grains, not greens. Greens are excellent, but grains, we have to be a little bit in moderation with the grains. We tend to overdo it, especially
Right.
when we become vegetarians and vegans, because we're looking for that filling sensation, and grains will give us that filling sensation, but along with it comes a lot of inflammation.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So we're here at 30 minutes. Perfect.
Ah,
I
yay.
know 15 minutes. There's no way. Like you have so much wealth of wisdom I want to share. But thank you so much, Jen, for being on here with us. Next time we'll do another talk. I mean, she's got so much wealth of wisdom. I got to have you back on here.
Awesome. Happy to come back anytime.
Awesome. And everyone else, I just want to say thank you for being a part of the Wisdom WarriorPreneur Alliance. And until next time, we'll see you then. Take care, everyone.
Bye-bye. Thank
Bye.
you.